All right, so what we got going on then in this deck is it's basically, we did a mono-white Monumental white deck tech a little while ago. This is sort of the more updated build. People have actually been playing that deck, testing that deck. So the most up-to-date version of that build is still very much white-based and still very much an Oketra's Monument deck. But the idea of this deck is we stick a Monument, we can cast stuff for crazy really cheaply. So Thraben Inspectors, Henweir Militia Captains, Selfless Spirits for protection, Bygone Bishop makes us a ton of clue tokens when we're casting our other stuff, and then Dusk to Dawn is amazing. If you notice, every single creature in our deck has power 2 or less. Every single one. So it's often like drawing 4 or 5 cards, and it's wrathing our opponent's big stuff. So we go super wide with our creatures. We get to draw tons of cards from our clues and our Cloud Blazers, and then eventually we either beat our opponent just by overwhelming them with value from all of our creatures, or we can flip around to Westvale Abbey into an Ormondal, taking all of our Oketra's Monument tokens, and just go to town that way and win with the really hard to beat Ormondal. So that's basically the plan of the deck. It's really odd because it's sort of a white weenie deck, but it's also built with tons of card advantage. We have so many things that draw us cards, so it solves some of the things I don't like about playing weenie decks, where you're just running out of cards. If you get Wrath, you lose, things like that. This deck looks really interesting, and I think it's going to be really fun, so we're going to give it a shot. Oh man, the old 25 land Monument Mana Screw hand. Well, we got to ship it. No, I'm not like this deck. What's happening to us? All right, good old 5-card hand. I guess that has to go to the bottom. Well, there's a land. All right, so we do get a Monument down, which at least gives us hope. This hand is super awful. We mulligan into Oblivion, and we even mulligan further because we have a Monument we can't play. But we have a Monument. We could draw into things that go with the Monument. Opponent's going wide. We draw more lands. We'll play a Plains, play a Bygone Bishop. This is a nice little synergy here. So we Bygone Bishop, get a Warrior, pass the turn, leave up Spell Queller, which we can cast because of Oketra's Monument, hopefully counter a removal spell. Well, we're going to do that right now. Spell Queller. Our opponent probably has another one, but whatever. We get another token. We get a clue, most importantly. We do get wrecked if our opponent manages to kill our Spell Queller. They get the removal spell back, but I think that's what we got to do. Yeah, that worked out well. So we're still in the game-ish. Another land for our opponent. Do they have more removal spells? They do. Dark Salvation gets back the removal spell. So now we're pretty far behind again. Kills a Bygone Bishop. Opponent. I guess we just take it for now. So we get to crack our clue and go digging for something. More lands. Come on, deck. Not a land. Alright, another Spell Queller is interesting. Liliana's Mastery. Well, we gotta draw a Dusk Dawn. That's the card we need to win the game. Please, deck, please, for the love of God, give us a Dusk Dawn. I guess we play Spell Queller. Let's just kill this Relentless Dead at least. Oh, come on. One time, deck. One time. Well, Thraben Inspector, not a Dusk Dawn, gets us a 1/1. Also gets us a clue that we can crack. That's a Dusk Dawn. Okay, well, the game might continue if our opponent doesn't have discard. That's the card we wanted. That's the card we were looking for. Yeah, I think we're actually ahead now. Grasp on Queller. That's actually kind of okay. Creatures dying means creatures coming back from the graveyard. Opponent goes attacking. Block. I guess we just all-out chump, I think. All-out jump. Dusk away the board. Play the island, pass the turn. All right, game is on. Yeah, that was a super good Dusk. What do you got, opponent? Gets back Dread Wanderer. Yup. Now we get to get all of our creatures back, which is awesome. Cast Dawn. Everything comes back. And I think we'll just lead with Thraben Inspector. Get a clue. Get a token. Yeah, I think we're winning now. Oh, Dusk Dawn was so good there. Opponent goes attacking. I think we just go in chump block mode to keep our life up. We can make so many disposable creatures that it seems silly to take damage. There's a Westvale Abbey. Metallic Rebuke. Well, this is where it gets fun. Play Bygone Bishop. Get a clue. And we're just going to pass and leave up double Spell Queller. Seems reasonable. Opponent goes attacking. We will just stay in chump block mode, I think. Chump the Dread Wanderer. Now, hopefully, we just card advantage our opponent out of the game. Crack our clue. Untap. Another Metallic Rebuke. Play Selfless Spirit. Get a token. Get a clue. Get another clue. Do some attacking. Hit our opponent. Yeah, it's hard to imagine we lose from here. Do some attacking. We're actually pretty low on creatures, oddly enough. Hit our opponent for a bundle. Play the plains. Pass the turn. You can only have one monument at a time since they're legendary. So that is one of the downsides of this deck is we do get monument flooded at times. I think we just run out another Spell Queller, get a 1/1, get a clue. This lets us do some more effective blocking. Block, block, block. And is our opponent scooping? Opponent scoops it up. Whoo! The Dust Dawn off the top at the perfect time. I think we're going to let this go. The risk is that our opponent somehow does this and then also manages to counter our Dawn through Metallic Rebuke. It seems unlikely, but it is a thing that could potentially happen. So opponent gets a bunch of energy, plays a Sanctum, and passes. We get more lands. Well, kill the demon, play the plains, pass the turn. Opponent passes. No land. Please no land. It's a land. So I don't think we want to cast it yet. It'll just get countered, and we really want it to resolve. We'd rather just draw a creature and start pressuring our opponent, or have our opponent cast something to eat up a chunk of their mana. Like this. Alright. Ishkana resolves. Now this means we get to resolve our Dust Dawn. That's what we wanted. And I think that's enough, even from here, that we win. We draw Spell Queller. Not bad. We'll play the plains. Get back all of our dorks. Play Thraben Inspector. Get a 1/1. Get a clue. So much value. Play Thraben Inspector. Get a 1/1. Get a clue. Man, look how fast we can rebuild. Imagine if we also drew into our Westvale Abbey to flip. We could just flip so soon. Pass the turn. Leave up Spell Quellers. Leave up counter spells. I can find a way to flood with any number of lands. Is our opponent going to get in? Opponent gets in. Well, we're just going to make a Westvale Abbey token. Take the 3. Hopefully we draw non-lands. Man, Cloud Blazer. We got 3 Cloud Blazers in our deck. One of those would be nice. Militia Captain's fine. I mean, I guess we can just flip now and go for the win. Opponent's tapped down. That seems like a good plan. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, we'll go for it. Sack our board. Ormondal coming down. Hit our opponent. For 9. Also gain 9. And I think that should just pretty much wrap it up. Seems unlikely that our opponent's going to be able to deal with it. Especially through a Spell Queller. Alright, opponent's staying alive. Elder Deep Fiend. Alright, let's just do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast this. Play an island. I guess we're just going to go for it now. Get everything back. And might as well Thraben Inspector. Get a clue. Get a token. Jeez. We rebuild so well. And now we'll pass. Discard a few things. And I mean, I think this should do it. I can't imagine our opponent coming back from here. And our opponent scoops it up. Sweet. Well, I think we send Westvale Cult Leaders at Gideon. And we can maybe use our Stasis Snare to mess up the blocks. So opponent blocks, opponent blocks, opponent blocks. Ooh, okay. So I think we let this go and then just Stasis Snare to hit the Spell Queller. Actually, no, we'll hit Bygone Bishop. So we lose a Cult Leader, but we wrath our opponent's board, and I'm feeling good. Now we're nowhere near dying to Westvale Abbey. Opponent's out of cards. We got clues. We got removal spells left over. Well, opponent attacks. We'll chump Gideon. Keep our life total high. Draw land. Well, sack a clue. Any creatures, please, deck. There, well, Spell Queller. All right, so Declaration Stone Militia Captain. Kill Gideon. Hit our opponent. And I think we got it. I think a little bit of stumbling, but I think the deck is super sweet. So we're going to finish with the 3-2 by the looks. But we had some bad running in our losses, and while we had some consistency issues where when we don't draw well, we don't do well, the deck actually seems like it has some pretty sweet power. And that means we get to open a single treasure chest and see how lucky we happen to be. Opponent's passing, well, crack our clue, more lands, more fragmentizes, go attacking. Our opponent can chump block for a turn with a Westvale Abbey token, but they're getting pretty close to just being dead. Oh, geez, do they have Avacyn? Oh, they do. Okay. There's Avacyn. So I'm assuming they block. All right, so we're just gonna run out a Spell Queller to pump our Militia Captain so it doesn't die, and also make ourselves some clues. So we hit our opponent to 9, sack a clue. Yeah. Now we'll just pass, leave up Metallic Rebuke, get a 1/1 on the 1-turn clock. Love the videos, but can only watch them at X2 speed. I think your natural cadence for everything is about X2 slower than it needs to be. Have you ever thought about talking and playing twice as fast when streaming? Love you, a fan. I think it would be hard to do X2 speed live. I already feel like I talk faster than I should a lot of the time. Yeah, you can have a Gideon. I don't think we care about that.
No! God, please, no! No!
I don't think Gideon saves our opponent. Gets in with Avacyn. All right. Down to 7. Sack our clue. Prairie Stream. Oh my goodness, deck. Well, play Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. Get a 1/1. Yeah, maybe I should have countered the Gideon. I was thinking we'd have a better target along the way, but maybe that was the correct thing to do. Opponent. Tapping, untapping. Alright, we're gonna counter that. Yes, I guess maybe we should have countered it. I can see the argument. Opponent makes a 2/2. And passes. Come on, creature. Deck. Really? Play Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. Oh my goodness, deck. If only we could draw a single creature. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 lands. Opponent makes a 2/2. Oketra's Monument. Creature, please. Alright, 1. There we go. There's a creature. Cloud Blazer. Coming down, drawing his cards. Spell Queller. That doesn't especially help. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. So do we just gotta go wide enough that we kill our opponent in one shot? Opponent plays a Spell Queller. That's our last card. So I guess we Spell Queller back. Get some clues. Get rid of the Spell Queller. Get a 1/1. Pass the turn. Makes a 2/2. Sacks everything. Oh, goodness. Alright, opponent flips Westvale Abbey. Goes attacking. So we got a block. Let's sack a clue. Thraben Inspector. Sack a clue. Irrigated Farmland. Not what we were looking for. Spell Queller down. Opponent gains a bunch of life. Oh, we might be losing now. Cycle Farmland. More Thraben Inspectors. Oh, dear. Yup. Well, we should have countered the Gideon. Looks like that's the truth of the matter. Cloud Blazer. So play Cloud Blazer. Draw a couple cards. Where's all of our monuments? Play Thraben Inspector. Get a clue. Sack a clue. Draw more lands. Play Thraben Inspector. Get a clue. Play a Plains. Fragmentize Oketra's Monument. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. And finds a Selfless Spirit. Activates Gideon. Goes attacking. Well, block and block. Take 6. Down to 2. Opponent passes. We draw even more lands. And more lands. Alright, well, 20 lands out of the deck. That's unfortunate. So anyway, this deck, so obviously we should have countered the Gideon. We would have won the last match if we had countered the Gideon in game 2. So that was a mistake, should have countered the Gideon. So I think we could have went 3-2 with that play. I will say though, I was super excited for this deck and it felt maddeningly inconsistent. Like it felt like we flooded out a ton and somehow while we were flooding out in our other matches, we were also getting 1 land openers. I think we mulled to 5 at least 2 times, mulled to 6 like 3 or 4 times because we had 1 land openers. So there was just like a ton of random inconsistency, and the 25 lands seems like a ton. Like it seems like it's great when things are going well, but when you're just playing a bunch of random 2-drops and you have 25 lands in your deck, you end up having not much going on. So if you have Bygone Bishops making a ton of clues, if you get to Dust Dawn and back a bunch of creatures, then it's nice to have a control deck amount of lands. But when your hand is just like Selfless Spirit, the random 2-drop that flips around, and I don't know, a Spell Queller, and you draw 10 lands, you just don't win those games. So I don't know, that's could use some more work, I guess, and probably tighter plays. So I think that wraps it up. So what do we got coming up? We got Commander Clash tomorrow, a pre-release overrated and underrated cards coming out tonight on the YouTube channel. So make sure to check those out. Also, all next week, like I mentioned, gonna have some best cards for various formats from Hour of Devastation. So keep an eye out for those as well. Also, of course, the replay YouTube. That's where you can find this stream tomorrow if you missed a part or just want to go back and watch me punt with Gideon or see the Momir matches. And then also the merch page where you can get t-shirts and playmats and all that stuff. So I think that brings us to the end of the stream for tonight. So big thanks to everyone for hanging out. Also, big thanks to everyone who subbed and donated. Definitely appreciate the support. So we'll be back on Tuesday with another one. Be playing some new Hour of Devastation pre-release events since pre-release will be upon us. So you won't want to miss that one. It'll be time for some sweet Hour of Devastation. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out and for your support, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.